Hello everyone! Welcome! Today is the very last day of March. It is March 31st, 2021. My name is Candace, and this is my Flosstube channel, all about stitching. So if you're new to this channel, I talk about cross stitch mostly. Sometimes I'll throw in some knitting or some quilting. Not super often, mostly cross stitch. Let's see, Flosstube 46. Crazy. Kind of like our weather. So 2 days ago, it was in the 40s. Yesterday, it was in the 70s. Today, it's in the 30s. What are you gonna do? My poor kids, they had their spring jackets on today, and I'm kind of regretting that. Just a hair. Let's see. Otherwise, not a whole lot going on. I was super busy last weekend sewing, so I will show you, if you haven't seen my Instagram, I will show you what I was working on, because it is cross-stitch related sewing. And otherwise, I mean, just stitching away, trying to hit some goals. So let's see, it is the last day of March, so we might as well, I had no finishes this week. Not like I wasn't trying, but no finishes this week. So I did do a lot of work on one of my March WIPGO projects. And if you haven't heard of it before, WIPGO is the brainchild of Jessie from Jessie Marie Does Stuff. And basically it's a bingo board. I can show you mine. And then whatever numbers she calls, you just work on those projects for that month. You set your own goals, you set your own rewards. I didn't really make any rewards. I mean, my goal is to finish as much as I possibly can, or meet as many goals as I can. A lot of things on here are finishes, but some are not. Some are just stitch counts or partial, especially on my full coverage ones. Those are just stitch counts for the year. So let's take a little peek at this one, because I have been working on this one a lot. Okay, so let me get the cover page up front here. Maybe. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay. So this is Spring Awakening. This is by Little Dove Designs. And here is where it was before. I'm doing this on a 14 count platinum Aida that I had found at Joann's. I feel like with this series, these 4 charts, it's actually, they're like, Aida's perfect for these. So I actually stopped mid floss because I was at work and it was time to go. So I'm just going to move that down a little bit. So here's where I am now. Yay, right? I got so much done. Sorry, my grime guard's making it a little shadowy, but I got the entire house done, the hill with the sheep, more sheep, flowers, and I'm working on the water right here. That's where the duck and the little chicks are. And then it's more flowers and some birds and more flowers and more flowers. So I'm super excited at how far I got on this. I love those sheep. They're just adorable. Just adorable. So I'm pretty excited about this one. I may even continue to work on it, like for the next week, maybe. Because I did kind of get a late start on it with, March Madness going on. So I feel like it didn't get as much attention as it could have. But then again, April is tomorrow, and I have 2 new WIPGO projects. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet. But I definitely want to stitch on this more than those other 2 projects that were just called. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. You guys will find out next Wednesday what happens. Okay, so things are organized until you start showing stuff, and then it all goes to crap. All right. So I did get a little bit of work done last weekend on I'm going to take this out of the Q-snap because it'll be easier to see, and I still need to work on it just a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so this is Christmas Sampler by Core E Betacore. And I'm doing this for the challenge in Semi-Sane Stitchers, the Alpha My Bet challenge. If I can get this in the right spot here. And so I got the G done. And then I got some more of this like cake stand. But I didn't get the G done on that bottom alphabet yet. I haven't quite gotten there yet. So I'm going to work on this a little bit more this week and get that other G in. And then hopefully the rest of that cake stand done. And then I'll put it away until H is called, which is not this Friday, but next Friday. There, now I have a wee little mess. That's okay. I can take care of it later. All right, what else did I work on? So in March for Semi-Sane Stitchers, the only thing I did was the focus project. But, oh, by the way, there's a new password for April for Semi-Sane Stitchers if you would like to join. Now, if you want to join Semi-Sane Stitchers, you have to answer all the questions and you have to use the password. The password for this month, for April, is Fool. F-O-O-L. Fool. Like April Fools. So I thought that one was quite clever. So if you want to join Semi-Sane Stitchers, just make sure you have that word when you go to join. And then you don't need to be recommended by anyone. You don't need to know them personally to be able to invite them to the group. So in Full Coverage Fanatics, if you're doing full coverage, you can join that one. There's no passwords for that one. I was working on the March sprints, and I did manage to get a couple of them done. I got 2 done, so I got 4 total out of 20, which honestly is not that bad because they were 1,876 stitches for one and 1,872 stitches for the other. So I can't really complain, you know. So let's see. So the first one is actually the one I'm working on for Stitch Talk HAED challenges. I just realized I never said anything about a previous photo for that Christmas sampler, but I put it up anyway. So this is Mini Citrine, and this is a Heaven and Earth Designs. It's a full coverage chart. And here's where it was before. And here we are now. So I got a whole bunch done over here and up here. So I just have a little bit left of 3860 right in here and a tiny little bit around the wing of the butterfly. And then that will be a finished color. So I'm pretty excited. She's coming along. And I think after this color, I'm going to go back into these lighter areas and do some of the lighter sky colors. Try and get those completed. So I did use that for one of the March sprints. And then another one that I got some progress on. Not a ton, I think. Hold on, let me see. Oh, and by the way, since it's the end of the month, I did a little over 1,800 stitches on Mini Citrine this month. Because I'm using that for my 100 days challenge. So I do at least 50 stitches a day. Most days are a little bit more than that though, depending on the length of my floss. Because I normally do 1 strand of floss. And it is between 50 and 65 stitches usually. So, let's see. So Mini Dark Goddess, I only touched once this week. And I did 300 stitches on it. So this is what it looks like. I'm really bad today. I haven't even changed my work clothes yet. This is where I was last time. And you'll have to pardon my scissors because they're still on there. And my needle wants to jump off. But here's where I am now. There we go. I just love this. It's so many different shades of purple. It's just so fun to stitch. So I did get a little bit more in here, and then I came down through here, and I did a little bit down in there. But I did get 300 stitches in on it this week. And while I was in my sewing room, this grime guard is actually one of the things I made this weekend. So the only reason why I only made one is because this is an odd size. It's a 8x14 because I used one of the 3-inch extensions on an 11. So it's a little bit of a weird size, but running elastic through 2 sides, my hand was cramping so bad. And of course, this was the last thing I made for the day, so my hands were like done anyway. But yeah, so I have a nice little grime guard for my Q-snap. Okay. And then the last one that I worked on quite a bit this week, I don't think I added up the stitches for this month for Mini Dirt Goddess. Let me see. I can give you a rough estimate. Probably 2,400 stitches. I didn't add them up yet, but I got a lot of stitches done on that this month. Okay, so the last one, this is Magic Study. And this was my New Year, New Start. I'm doing this with Janet Jabber. She is way past me, but it's a lot of fun having someone else's progress to watch. So here's where I was last time. And I did almost 3,000 stitches on this month. So here we are now. Let me move. This obviously was the other thing that I made, or one of the other things, was a grime guard for my scroll rod. So I got this in here, and then I'm actually going to go over because my skein was almost gone. I was very close to being at the end of my skein of 32, and I didn't ever intend to do extreme cross country on this. I just wanted to keep working with this color. So I did this, and then you can see there's like different little areas all over where I worked on all this. So here, around in here, down in here. I hope you can see this okay, because it might have been a little high, I guess, because I can't see through my fabric very well. But that's the main bulk of it right there. So I did end up switching to a new color. If you look right in the corner there, you'll see some dark blue in those first 3 boxes at the top. Maybe first 4 boxes. I started another color because I thought I had purchased more than one skein of 32, and I did not. So I ran out completely, and I didn't want to pull from another project. So I do need to get a skein of 32 eventually. But for now, I decided I'm just going to use, I don't remember, I think it was like 824 maybe that I was using up here. I'm just going to work on it for a while until I get sick of that color, and then pick a different one. So I don't know if I want to use this for my focus project for April. I kind of want to use this because I am using this in Stitch Talk HAED challenges for the National Parks Challenge. And basically you're stitching your way around to the national parks in the United States. and I have not made progress. And it's already the last day of March. So I might use this as my focus project so that I can get some of those national parks completed. I think I might do that. So yeah, Magic Study. Hooray! Okay, so those are my whips this week. Lots of full coverage stitching, which I'm not unhappy about. My only thing is the 2 projects that were called for WIPGO, I kind of don't want to do them. But maybe, you know, in the next couple of days, a little fire will light under me for it. So I have this one as a PDF. This is Hello Dear. I'm sure you've seen it before if you watch anyone else's Flosstubes. I'm doing this on I did not bring my book down. I think it's a 32 count. It's a white Lugana. It's either 28 or 32. That's where I'm at. That's it. That's where I'm at. I have a very long way to go if I want to finish this by the end of the year. So, we'll see. Maybe, who knows? You never know. I might get a wild hair and I might pick it up like I did with Spring Awakening and stitch it like crazy. So, maybe. The other one that was called, I'm not as resistant to stitching because I do like this one and I really haven't had a ton of time to work on it. But this is another Core Ebeticore. This is Halloween and Cross Stitch. And it says, every witch loves Halloween and cross stitch. So I'm doing this on a 28 count factory tea-dyed Monaco. All the called for DMC. And her charts are not small. Just telling you. So here's where I am right now. Back up just a little bit so you can see where the spider is going to be. Or the, no, there is another spider right there. There's another spider right down here. So, yes, I have barely started on her dress. I have a long way to go. And all the back stitching except for the boo, because I was a little inexperienced when I started this, and I did the back stitching. I'm doing this one in hand, but I'm worried that when I start rolling it to do this side, it's going to screw it up. So I can always take it out and redo it if I need to. That's the only part that's back stitched. So like off of her hat right here will be back stitched, and then the spider's legs. But her dress is pretty intricate. And then look at that fill-in. The fill-in on the pumpkin. The fill-in, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking, saying I was going to have this one as a finish this year, but I'll give it the good old college try. So, yeah, so this one I'm stitching in hand. It's a sturdier fabric, and my stitches look even when I stitch in hand. I noticed that when I stitch in hand on Ada, my stitches do not look even, and that's why I use a Q-snap. And same thing with Jobelin. For the Christmas sampler, I use a Q-snap because my stitches look better. I really don't have a preference one way or the other. It's all dependent on the fabric, the project, the floss, what my stitches look like. I know I've started projects in hand and put them in a Q-snap because I didn't like how it looked. So this project bag may be retiring because I had another whip. Made some project bags. 11 project bags to be exact. So this one here, the fabric is, these are all the different colors of Moda Solids. And I got this fabric from Fat Quarter Shop. These are just 12 by 12 vinyl front project bags. They're not anything special. They have a zipper. Fake binding, if you'd like to call it that. I had watched some time ago I had watched Darvanalee Designs. It's like Dee Dee's, I'll link it below, but she has a tutorial on vinyl front cross stitch bags, and it's probably my most favorite tutorial for vinyl cross stitch bags. She does a really good job of explaining and showing all the steps. I changed some stuff up a little bit for myself, but these are 12 by 12. Likely will not fit a an 11 by 11 Q-snap. No, because the Q-snap is thicker, so you'd need room for that. So see, the bag wouldn't close. It won't fit in there, which is fine, because these will just hold all of my, you know, stitch and hand projects. So I did 2 of these. I did one with green, one with peach. And then I used fabric from Stash. I didn't buy any specific fabric for this. Previously, I'd ordered fabric for bags and just hadn't made them yet. So this is sewing themed. And I paired it with like dark teal polka dots. We have our lovely Mr. Fox. And this one is like blue. It's a Michael Miller fabric from years and years and years ago. Doubtful you can still get it. This is actually fabric I found at Hobby Lobby. And they're little bees. And it's cute. I actually used it for the inside of the bag also, because I didn't really have a good coordinating fabric or even a contrasting fabric. So it's just all bees. Now these next 3, I had actually ordered fabric from Fat Quarter Shop, and if I'm not mistaken, this fabric is still available. I cannot remember the exact name of it, but there's some flowers with plaid. So I have 2 of those. And then this, I know for sure this is Flowers for Freya fabric. And that one had a plaid also. So I made 2 of those. And then this next one I also made 2 of. And it's bees. And some little, they look like quail. So I have 2 of those. I don't make bags to sell. It's not something I would even remotely have the time for. But I was in need of, you know, ever since I got my sewing machine, my upgraded sewing machine, because I had a Brother before. Brother sewing machines are great. My sewing improved greatly with a good machine. My machine stitches straight. I don't have any tension issues. I don't have any, if you're not super familiar with sewing machines, a good quality machine does make all the difference. So I love my Juki, and it actually did a really good job, considering that some of these fabrics were not high quality. They were chain store purchased fabrics. So, but yeah, so I made 11 cross stitch bags. And I did, this is 16 gauge vinyl. I got it from fabric.com. And then I had one last sewing thing. And this is it for WIPs. So I'm making a quilt for my husband. And it is out of the Jolly Bar Book Volume 3 from Fat Quarter Shop. And this one is, I don't know if there's a full-size picture of it. I'm checking to see if there's a full-size picture of it finished. I don't think there is. So that's the basic quilt right there. Now I'm not using solids, but that's how they do their patterns in these books. They're not fabric specific. So it does say that it uses a Jolly Bar. I used, because these are all 2.5 inch by whatever, I'm using Jelly Roll, because Jelly Rolls are 2.5 by length or width of fabric. So the Jelly Roll that I'm using is an old one, and it is figures from Zen Chic. and I love it. It had a lot of colors that I figured my husband would love too. So what I did is I started making the top and bottom of each of these squares. So I pulled all of the, I won't show you all the fabrics, but I pulled all of the light blues, the yellows, and the dark blues out of it. And I'm just going to make his quilt in these colors. So I did all the tops and bottoms after cutting all of the fabric. Now, the colors that I pulled out of this and am not using are the lighter yellows and the coral. So here's the coral color. This does not scream my husband at all, but I really like it. So I think what I'm going to do is I will probably sew strips together and maybe make some project bags out of this. There's also this fabric that has the coral in it, so I didn't include that. And then this one, these two are really lighter volume than what I wanted to use. So, so these fabrics I will probably use for myself, but for something at some point. And then the rest will just go in the scraps. So I got started on his. Hooray, I'm excited. The blocks actually look just like that. So I'm using, instead of white in the middle, I'm using the white on the outside, the print for the colored part, and then in the middle I'm using the low volume prints from the collection. So these will go in the middle just to make it a little fun and interesting. And he's excited because, you know, I think I said this last week, he never gets anything. He did get a hat this year though, but I've promised him sweaters before and it didn't happen. Okay, so now that I've made a little fabric mess, I only have a tiny little bit of stash acquisition, but this one just came in the mail and I'm pretty excited. I tried Sulky and I really liked it, even though I ditched my pandemic chart from Long Dog Samplers. I really liked stitching with the Sulky, so I decided that I wanted to have a little bit of a Sulky stash so I could use it as a substitute in charts when I could. So I went through and I purchased some of their petite palettes of floss. So this one is, I think this one's just the assorted. Hold on. It should have on here somewhere. Oh, this is the winter sampler. Sorry about the glare. This one is the spring sampler. I believe this one's autumn. Yeah, that one's autumn. Love those colors. Cannot wait to use them. This is the summer one. I apologize if you can hear my dogs. I left them outside with water. This is the black and gray sampler. I figured those would come in really handy. And then this one's neutrals. So I figure with these colors, and these were only, I think they're like $8.99 on Sulky's website. But with these colors, I have enough variety now that I can easily switch things up. So I started a little Sulky collection. Okay, and then the only other thing I have is an order I placed with 123 Stitch. I had showed a couple videos ago that I had gotten the Scary Apothecary charts from Hands On Design, and I ordered a couple of the flosses for that, the DMC. There was one, this is Zach Black, Classic Colorworks. And then I got some of the Krynic, but they didn't have all of it. So Oh, it didn't fall all the way down. Yay. So let's see if I can do this without dropping them all. So those are the colors that I got. And then I know I have 2 other colors of Krynic, so I'll see if maybe those can be substituted when I'm ready to start those charts. Or maybe they'll have the colors that I need in stock or when I'm ready. Those aren't like ready to be done right now. So I did get some more 32 count white Lugana, so I can dye it if I need to. And it's an 18 by 27 piece. And then this was actually on clearance. It's 14 count mellow Ada. And it's a fat quarter. No. 12 by 17. Not a fat quarter. Fat 8. So it's got just a tiny little bit of modeling in it. It's really hard to tell. That's better. But it's really, really subtle. And it's really, I don't know. I like this color a lot when I saw it online, and I liked it in person too. So I have some fabrics, some flosses. Oh, I got some yarn. So one of my favorite yarn dyers is Sunshine Yarns. I love her yarns. They're amazing. They're soft. She is a brilliant dyer. And she's out of, I don't know if she's in Boulder, Colorado or near Boulder, but she is in Colorado with her family. Her kids are so adorable. She has a group on Ravelry. Her name is Danny. And I ordered this green space gradient set. And I love it. So I'm just going to hold it all up so you can see. Hold on, let me flip it around. Isn't it pretty? It's so pretty. It's so pretty. So it's not enough yarn to do, oh, what's it called? The Comfort Fade Cardi from Andrea Mowry. It's not enough. I would need probably like one more like darker gray or maybe something really light in between. I'm considering it, but I don't want to, I need the perfect project because this yarn is gorgeous. It is gorgeous. I mean, look at the speckles. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. So I may use it for a shawl because there are a lot of shawls out there that have gradient or, you know, use multiple colors. Hohi Locatelli has a couple that I've made that use multiple colors. But this is fingering weight yarn. It is her classic sock. So there's 425 yards per skein. I mean, her yarn is amazing. It's so soft. She also had these. She may not have any more now because it's been a week and a half since I ordered it, I think. But she had it in Luxe sock, which is a beautiful yarn. But I needed to be kind of good, so I went with classic sock. It doesn't matter. I love classic sock. So, this is probably going to be my screen grab. Hopefully not. Oh, that would be bad. Only because of where my hands were placed. So that's all I received in the mail this week. The dogs really want to come inside. So plans, tonight I'm going to, it is still March, so I'm going to stitch, I don't know, I think I might do my, the Christmas sampler and work on the letter G some more. Get that little G done, and then hopefully the rest of that cake stand done. And then tomorrow starts April, so I think I'm going to take Halloween and cross stitch with me to work tomorrow. I gotta make sure I have all my flosses in there. I'm sure I do, but because it's just DMC. So that's all I have today, but I do want to say like a huge, gigantic thank you to 2 people The first one is Janet from Janet Jabber, because she gave me an awesome shout out on her video. Her video released yesterday on the 30th. I watched it first thing this morning. Normally I watch it the day she puts it out, but she said it took forever to upload, so it didn't come out until yesterday afternoon. So she was the first thing I watched this morning. But she gave me an awesome shout out. Thank you. And then the other one is Krystal Rowe, and you can find her on YouTube as Krystal Rowe, Krystal with a K. I'll link both of them below, just in case you're not already following them. And she is so sweet. I love listening to her. I could listen to her forever. And her latest video that she did was a little bit longer because she talked about the Leela May retreat with Stitching with Housewives. So I got to listen to her and stitch today while I was at work. So she gave me an awesome shout out too, and I really appreciate it. Thank you. So that's all I have for today. I'm just checking to make sure I didn't miss anything. I'm good. I'm good. I'm going to go change my clothes and let the dogs in and get this video uploaded. So I hope everyone has a wonderful week. I hope the temperatures are not fluctuating at your house like they are at mine. I mean, geez, either get warm or stay cold. Just pick one, because my sinuses are not thrilled. So I will see you guys next Wednesday in April. And I'm not participating in Americana April. I heard about it on Stitching with the Housewives. I didn't know it was a thing. I'm not a huge patriotic stitcher anyway, so I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to focus on for April yet, but I should probably focus on my WIPGO projects. So we'll see. I'll let you know next week. All right, guys, take care. Happy stitching.